Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien, and Bubba. Hey, Bub. Yoo-hoo, Bub. Bub. Hey, say hi to the Americans, Bub. Here on Monday, September 30th. Wanted sitting in for Paul Harvey today, and wanted to do a homage to him and to President Abraham Lincoln, both of whom are probably looking in their graves and saying, "What the blank is going on?" But I hope I do a good homage to both of them here. I'll do a commentary like Mr. Paul Harvey would have probably done in this circumstance. So here it goes. Good morning, Americans. Well, it's been 12 score and 3 years ago since our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. This proposition was flawed from the start, as President Jefferson told President Madison. Half a loaf is better than no loaf at all. But they will hope that you, the descendants, would fix it, which you never did. Then, 16 years ago, we were engaged in a civil war, testing whether the Union would survive. President Abraham Lincoln did his Gettysburg Address to that atone, and what he said at the end, that the government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth. This was November 19th, 1863. Since then, I submit to you, as the favorite alien submitted to you, that that government ceased to exist on April of 1865 when President Lincoln was assassinated. Because since that time, all we've had is politics governing the country. And we created monsters as companies. Sure, they helped our lives, but everybody that could create something did, and created it not for the sake of humanity, but for the sake of his own pocket. That is not the way a system goes. We never did figure out what the Union was. We had a chance to fix it back in 1865 when we were readmitting the rebellious Confederate States. But did we? No. So why are you admitted to the Union? Why Michigan? What do you get out of the Union? What does California get? What does New York get? We never decided that, did we? Why are we in the Union? You see what I mean? And since the time of President Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, we've had 4 impeachment proceedings. 4. We had 0 prior to that, and they were bad people. I mean, you could impeach President Adams for the XYZ affair. You definitely could impeach Andrew Jackson for what he did to the American Indians. That was an impeachable offense. Big time. You could impeach James K. Polk for annexation of Texas and annexation of Florida, all in the same year, 1845. The way he did it, it cost the Mexican War, didn't it? Then you got the Mexican Cession. Oh, more territory, which cost more problems. So you see, Americans, we've had a big problem. Now we're engaged in a great civil battle that could turn into a second civil war to test whether the values are still there or whether they're just a piece of paper with no value at all. You have a decision to make. Your parties have ruined this country, and they're ruining it now. You've had presidents that were bad since 1863. Some were okay, some were above average. There was no great president since 1863. There were some that tried to do a good job, others just tried to get there for the money. In the last 20 years, most presidents that come out of the office are worth more than they went in. Clinton, Obama, heck, even Mr. Trump here is trying to get himself in the gravy train too. But have they done something? No. They've defined the country as they see fit. And that's not the way to define the country. A country was defined by the U.S. Constitution. And that's where it should be. This is what you should know, Americans. There's 50% of you that hate politics. I don't think that Abraham Lincoln was much of a politician. He joined the Republican Party, yes, but he wasn't much of a politician. Otherwise, he would not have done the Emancipation Proclamation or especially the Gettysburg Address. And he had some ideas on how to get this union somewhat back together. They wouldn't have been perfect. Nothing is perfect. But it would have been a lot better than what his successors, the radical Republicans, did. Look at all the disasters that's happened since then. And it's what's causing the disaster today. Because we got leaders that don't care a darn about you. They just care about the political process. They forget that the Constitution is not a political process. It's a piece of paper that was written before politics was even thought of here. But do they look at it that way? No. So, this is your favorite alien sitting in for Pa Harvey and Bubba saying good day. And I hope Mr. Pa Harvey Jr. accept this as a good homage to his father. Good day.